some of you might be in a different time zone that is later than what we have here in Accra, but you're welcome to today's event, which is looking at Wikipedia, new Wikipedia features for new editors. And my name is Sandes Tate. I am the co-founder of Wikimedia Ghana user group. I am also the Wikimedian of the Year and also recently staff of the Wikimedia Foundation. I'm a community relations specialist with the anti-harassment tools team. Now we will be doing something which is just drop your name, where you are joining us from, which city or town or country you are joining us from, and who you are in the movement. Okay, you can add some details about what you do elsewhere, but who you are in the movement, it's important that you share that with us. And then for those of you who want the growth team to ping you on Meta, because they are looking forward to involving you in some of the beta testing and everything, you can add your username as well. So your name, your first name, your username, where you are joining this event from, and then who you are in the movement. So you can drop that in the chats, and that will help us greet you properly and also ping you on Wiki when we need to. In case you're having any technical problems, I put our event document, a link to our event document in the chat. Kindly visit the document. There's a link to one of my colleagues' Telegram. You can just speak to him and let him know whichever challenges you're having, and we can see if we can help you solve that now. So in about a minute, I will ask our resource person to introduce himself, and then we can go. Okay, so I think the minute I gave is up, and we do have quite a number of people here, and it makes starting easy. It makes it worth it because we do have a number that we can start with. So everyone here must have edited Wikipedia before or is curious about Wikipedia editing, and the perspective at which you look at the editing might either be someone who takes care of people who are new to the movement, or someone who is trying to learn how to edit yourself. So this meeting is for both groups of people, those who look at it from trying to help others and those who also look at it from trying to learn themselves. One thing is that when we recruit people or we get recruited, usually we find it difficult learning on our own. Not too many people are able to teach themselves how to edit Wikipedia. So you find out that people want to connect with the facilitators or the trainers who met them the very first day and try to get some help. But a lot of us do these things or do the teaching on volunteer basis. So sometimes we might have recruited you on a Saturday, and the next time you will see us is probably at an event 2 weeks later, a month later, or sometimes you never see us again at all. But the Wikimedia Foundation is looking at building tools now that will help newcomers be able to learn on their own. So what that means is, as a newcomer, you have these tools, you're able to learn on your own. It's even able to connect you to a mentor to help you. And then also, if you are someone who recruits or who cares for new users, you will also be able to recommend some of these tools, because we are in the business of recommendation. Sometimes when newbies or new users ask us questions about how to do this, how to do that, we are able to recommend, oh, you can try this tool, you can try this extension, and so on. So this meeting will also empower those who teach in the various communities and those who train and recruit people to recommend some of these tools for people to use, so that at the end of the day, we can all increase participation, we can all create content, because that's what keeps our movement moving. So my colleague Benoit is here. Benoit, can you introduce yourself, and you can start your presentation.
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Cool.
Please, if you can't hear him or something, you can let us know in the chat.
All right. I'm going to start directly sharing my screen, since well, my presentation is, well, introduce myself during the presentation. So here it is. All right. Hope you can see my screen. It's very blue. Okay, so tonight I'm going to, well, or today, depending on where you are, I'm going to tell you more about the growth features. So first of all, I'm Benoit. My full name is Benoît Evellin, and I work with Sandy Sterb in the same team as community relations specialist. And I'm also a long-term volunteer at English Wikipedia. So I started at English Wikipedia in May 28, and after some experiments, like being Wikipedian in residence, and I really focus on welcoming newcomers since almost 10 years now as a volunteer. And I joined the Wikimedia Foundation in May 2015 as a community relations specialist, and I work on a lot of things. And since July 2018, I'm a member of the growth team. So it's well, big chance and a big challenge as well. So we're creating good, nice stuff. So I'm going to give you a tour of so I'm going to give you a tour of the features, and of course, what is the growth team, and then we will have a bit of time for questions, and if we have enough time, I will show you also the future of the growth features. So the growth team has been created because, like Sandy already said, when you start editing on Wikipedia, you need to understand a lot of things. First of all, you need to understand what are the technical challenges, like how to create a link, how to add a citation. It can be also conceptual, like what is a good citation, what a good source. And of course, you have the cultural barriers, like where should I reply to someone, or why my messages are left at the bottom of my tool page. It's very difficult for most people to edit Wikipedia. So starting from this, we have the Wikimedia Foundation has been working on identifying the barriers, and it was done through a research project conducted 3 years ago. It has been done in South Korea and in Czechia, so that we can, well, the goal was to have two communities that coexist, well, that are not connected, so that we can have an overview of the reality of editing issues on these two wikis. And it appears that the issues were the same. So, well, if you want to read more, I have added a shortcut to the new editor experiences report. You can read it. It's really interesting if you care about newcomers. But overall, all the barriers we mentioned have been identified. So the growth team has been created in order to grow the diversity and the number of contributors that help editing Wikipedia day after day. As a consequence, as said, the growth team has been founded in July 2018, and as of now, we have 12 people working on it, and we have 4 ambassadors. One of the strengths we have is the pilot wikis, where we have our ambassadors. So at the moment, we try and we test our tools first at Arabic, Bengali, Czech, and Vietnamese Wikipedias, so that we can know if it's working for newcomers, if the features are also a nice fit for the communities. And we also test the tools so that we can find every possible bug and blockers depending on the language. So when the tools have been well tested, then we can deploy them to more wikis. So I'm going to show you a tour of the current growth features, and so that you can have an overview of what are they doing, and I will then tell you more about the results and the efficiency of these tools. So first of all, the clear objective is to have newcomers being helped when they arrive on Wiki. So the growth features have all been designed in order to help newcomers. They are working both on mobile and desktop. Those 2 environments have been taken into consideration since day 1. It's really important for us so that we can involve every possible user. A lot of wikis are not really aware of the importance of mobile editing, but we took it into consideration at the very beginning because it's super important to have everyone being capable of editing. The first tool people will get when they create a new account at Wikipedia is the welcome survey. So we simply ask people why they have created the account and if they have edited Wikipedia already. We also use this welcome survey in order to know more about the users, so we can add more questions if we like. For instance, on my screenshot, there's a question about speaking other languages, so that it's a test for us to know if people would be interested in working on translations. The results of the welcome survey are, of course, available for communities so that they can improve their processes. Because if you have a lot of people who edit in order to, I don't know, fix spelling, then the community can work on focusing more on this. When people have created their account, they land on the home page. So the home page is really the most important feature we have right now. It's the central place where newcomers arrive and find resources in order to edit. So I'm going to give you a big tour of the home page so that you can know more about the different modules we have in it. First of all is the impact module. So the goal is to show up how many people have seen the pages you have edited. So at the moment on my screenshot, I've made 0 edits, but if I make some edits, then I will have the results of the number of page views. So it's really a way to encourage people to edit, because it shows that they have impact, real impact. Any edits made by our tools are real. It's not, a sandbox or something. It's real. They are real edits. You have a direct access to a mentor or welcomer, so it depends on how you want to phrase it, but it's you have access to an experienced user who is ready to help you. You can ask him or ask them any kind of question about editing, and it's really rewarding. I am myself a mentor on French Wikipedia as a volunteer, and I have questions about things I haven't even considered, and I need sometimes to think about my way of editing. So it's really rewarding. It's no, this was not supposed to be there. I'm sorry. So the homepage is on the homepage. You also have some help links. These help links are about direct editing. So you can have help links about how to add an image, how to add a citation, so on. So they are listed there, but people will find them back when they edit. You also have a way to invite people to campaigns, which can be very interesting when you want to just focus on newcomers. If you post something about editing just for newcomers, you can advertise it only on the home page. And we have the big chunk, which is suggested edits. So suggested edits are one of the key features. It's a set of pages and articles people can edit depending on their interest, and the set of maintenance templates. However, I'm not going to show it to you right now because I need to show you first one other feature we have, which is the help panel. We know that people can struggle when they click edit, they don't know what to do. So we have created that help panel that is available when people edit. People can, of course, hide it and display it whenever they want. They can search in help and they have access to the top 5 links that the community decided to be useful for newcomers when they need to edit. So we also recently added a way to contact the mentor when you are editing, which is also another way to help newcomers when they are blocked. The help panel is used by other tools, and this is why it's also an important tool to know about. So back to the home page, back to suggested edits, we offer newcomers a set of maintenance tasks, and they have to select their favorite topics so that we can provide them articles about things they like. So for instance, on my screenshot, I decided to select transportation in Africa because, well, that's something I care about. And then I can narrow down my selection by selecting some types of edits. So we have 3 levels of task, easy, medium, and hard. And then people can select the ones they like to. So you can work on easy tasks such as copy editing or adding links between articles. Medium task would be more about finding references and updating articles. That's the next level. And then the very hard one is about expanding short articles, which is actually the sum of what you've learned in the previous steps. We have a gray box about creating new articles. This is not something that could be activated because we haven't considered it yet, but we invite people to work on easy, medium, and hard tasks before trying creating new articles. So they still have the possibility to do so. And when you select a suggested edit, like this one, I selected the article about submarine, you are guiding by the help panel that provide tips about editing. So you will learn what you have to fix, what you have to add, how you can do it. These steps are really useful for newcomers because they immediately understand what you're supposed to do. At the moment, the experience is that you're just in front of a page, you clicked edit and you have no idea what to do. With the growth team, we really provide some guidance so that newcomers can know, they can know what to do. So it's really a big change. So the big question around this is to know if it's working, and the short reply is yes, it's really working. We have more people making their first edit. Their edits are very much more constructive than the average one. And more people return, they come back, they make more edits after a couple of days. And we have done this based on comparison. We have a group of users that get the growth features on many wikis, and another group that don't get the features. And we have compared the results regarding retention and also the returning rate, and we discovered that growth features make people are more likely to edit, do better edits, and return when they are guided. The quality, well, we have a revert rate that is about the same, but we don't know. We haven't explored really if the if people are reverted because they make bad edits, or just because, sometimes some people check recent changes, prefer to revert everything instead of keeping what's right. So it's still under investigation, but overall, we have very, very positive outcome. And this is why we have decided to move on and deploy the tools to much more wikis. So at the moment, we have more than 30 wikis that use growth features. Some wikis have actively requested the tools because they see them as an opportunity to increase the number of people who participate. Some of the wikis agreed on getting the tools when we offer them. And we have no opposition. We have no community blocking the tools. People are happy about the tool. They are welcoming them overall. So we also have some feedback from other wikis, and people are really looking for more tools to help newcomers. So, as a consequence, that's what motivates us to deploy to more wikis. We are really happy to help wikis as far as we can to get the features. Hence our meeting tonight about English Wikipedia. So I want to know if you have some questions about the features before we move on to the next topic.
Okay, so Benoit, I have a few words to help, those joining in and
Sure.
those who might need a bit of explanation. So colleagues, good afternoon, evening to those who just joined. I've seen a couple of people introducing themselves here. Thank you very much. Daniel, you are welcome to the event. Kofi Nyamfo, you are welcome to the event. Brian, you are welcome. Seth, Enoch, Bernard J, Robert, Mustafa from Nigeria, co-founder of the Hausa Wikimedians user group, you are welcome. I hope you're having a good time. Candy from Botswana, program lead at the Wikimedia Botswana user group, you are also welcome. Hello. Stella in Accra, I'm guessing. African coordinator, Wiki Women's user group, Joy Japan from Ghana, Wikia initiative lead. And Winnie from Kenya is also here. And this gives us the impression that a lot of people who are doing active work within the affiliates and on the continent actually are here. A lot of them, the decision makers, or let me say that the people that lead decisions and are very active are all here, and that's a good thing. So for those of you who are looking at the screens and you were seeing very different languages, and you were probably wondering what's going on, you know that our beloved Wikipedia is multilingual, right? So a lot of times when these tools are being built, they are built for a variety of languages. And in Africa, we have English, we have Arabic being very popular. There were some slides which had French. So if you don't speak any of those languages, do not be worried at all. When the tools are deployed, they are deployed in the language that you are editing Wikipedia in. So it's not like you will see this whole a dashboard with different languages, not at all. It's going to be a dashboard suited to you and the language that you speak. But because we are trying to be very represent all this or some of the voices in the presentation, that's why you see the various slides like that. So like he mentioned, Benoit mentioned, the tools are available in some of the language communities, because there isn't any opposition and whatnot. Is it available for English? He'll be telling us about that and what you can do for that. But we've gone through a couple of features, and I think I have a question for Benoit before he continues. The survey feature. We have the survey feature, we have the homepage feature. And if you have any question, please, this will be a good time for you to get it in so that we know how we can manage our time in giving everybody opportunity or a couple of minutes to express themselves. But you showed us the survey feature, which is one of the features helping recruit and retain editors. You also showed us the homepage feature, and then the suggested on the homepage, we have impacts. You are viewing the impacts that your edits have made so far. So if you have edited, God knows how many pages, maybe uploads you've made, how many people have viewed that article that you created. You can correct me if I'm wrong. That is displayed to you, I think, as motivation, so that you know how well you are working. And then you also have the opportunity to interact with a mentor in the dashboard, meaning once you have that feature, you are able to get connected to a mentor. So probably people will be having questions that, am I able to choose the mentor that I want? My mentor chooses me. How does that work? Because sometimes when I recruit or someone recruits somebody at an event, you would want to continue that close relationship and monitor the person. So you can help us answer that later. And then links. I know Wikipedians, we like our links a lot because, you are on one page, there's another link leading somewhere to help you find more information. So it's good that there's a place in the homepage for that. Suggested edits. I know a lot of us know about the suggest bots, the bot that gives you suggested Wikipedia articles. Well, guess what? Now that feature comes into the dashboard. You don't have to now install a different template in your top page. For those of you who did that, I think last year Wikimedia Ghana had an event where we were showing people how to use suggest bots to get suggestions on pages to edit, because sometimes we get bored and we are like, I don't know which page to edit. What do I do? And so the bot will send you reminders of pages that need your help. But this time, this feature is in the dashboard with you. You don't need to go and do any additional installation, which can be complicated. We also have the ability to choose easy, medium, and hard edits. Can you imagine that? That, at first you get thrown, several tasks are thrown at you, whether you called for it or not. But this time you get to indicate that you want the task to be easy, to be medium, or to be hard. And it feels like a game. Sometimes when we are playing games, we get to choose the level of difficulty. And it's like we are gamifying Wikipedia editing, which is nice. So Benoit has also spoken about growth. And I think one thing that struck me was the 11.6% of, is that retention, Benoit, of the people that...
It's the number of people making their first edits.
Their first edits.
Yes.
Right. Because of this tool. And the 22% is for
the number of edits, the number of edits they make after the first one.
Okay, great. So I think that's just about it with the summary. Benoit will continue, but if you are confused about anything or you have a question about these tools, please, you can put them in the chat and we will get to it when it's time. So
yes.
Benoit, you can continue, please.
Okay, I will first reply to some of your questions because maybe I think I've been unclear during my presentation. So the impact module you've seen on the homepage is showing the number of page views you get from readers. That's all. At the moment, we're only covering this, but maybe we would add the number of page views for images you've uploaded and so on. That's a future project. The mentor choice, well, you get a random mentor, but if you met a mentor during an event made by a user group at a workshop, then this mentor can claim you, so that when you will arrive later at home and you want to continue, your mentor will be the same as as the one you met at the workshop.
Wow.
Yep.
So
it was a community request, and
let's say yes. I recruit someone, or Joy or Stella recruits someone, or Winnie recruits someone in Kenya. In that dashboard, they compare with that person.
Give you all the details, but when someone creates at the workshop a new account, you take this username, you add it to a special page, and then the system does the magic to assign this newcomer to you.
Okay, that's how it works. All right.
So, and concerning suggested edits, it's well, you mentioned suggested bot, and actually the owner and the creator of this bot is part of the growth team.
Okay.
So this is why we've been able to refine and to add this system of suggesting edits to the core of our system. So on your homepage, you will get the same thing as you had at English Wikipedia right now, with some well, suggested edits being posted at your talk page. But now it's more universal. I have a question from Brian. So he asked if we are limited to one mentor or if there's an option to access whichever mentor available. At the moment, you only have access to your mentor, but we are also considering to provide you a way to access to more mentors, which should be by, it would be by having a way to post your messages to the tea house. This way you will have access to much more mentors, for instance, for an immediate response, because your mentor may not be around for any reason. And you will have access to, well, posting to the tea house. But we only provide one mentor at the moment. So I'm going to share my screen again so that we can continue. Okay. So where there are questions. Okay, I'm going to focus now and on explaining you what's the plan to have the growth team being deployed at English Wikipedia. At the moment, they are not available. They will soon be available as a small test, but you can also try them right now at test.wikipedia.com, or you can also go to English Beta Wikipedia if you have access to it. And you can also try it on another wiki where the features have been deployed. So for major languages spoken in Africa, you can try the tools at Arabic Wikipedia and also at French Wikipedia if you speak these languages. So the plan is to work together and well, first of all, it will be about testing the features. I will tell you more about the flexibility we have in setting up the features of the English Wikipedia, and we will focus on the role of the adopter user system and also the role of the tea house. First of all, testing the features. So we currently have an ongoing discussion at English Wikipedia, and the plan is the following. We are gathering a small group of welcomers. So 5 minimum, but we are open to any sort of application. The welcomers, the mentors, should be people who have some experience at editing Wikipedia, but editing in many ways. It could be from creating articles, uploading images, doing some maintenance, helping others. So if you, well, we are gathering a small group of welcomers. When done, we will deploy the tools to only 2% of newcomers. So 2% of newcomers at English Wikipedia is about 2,600 new accounts per month. It's a lot, and in the meantime, it's not a lot. Based on the experience we have on other wikis, we know that deploying to 2% of newcomers will raise approximately 100 questions per month. It's really a few, because not everyone is going to contact their mentor. So after this deployment, we will run this test over a month. And after this month, we will check if the revert rate of suggested edits remain the same as on default edits, which is about 50% at English Wikipedia. If the revert rate is the same or is below, then we consider to move on. We will also check the volume of mentors' questions so that we can adjust the number of mentors being needed. At the moment, our calculation is that, well, for deployment to 100% of newcomers, we will need something like 200 mentors. So it's a bit of a challenge, but we need to adjust this. So we will check the volume of the questions. We will also check the quality of mentors' questions so that the community can be ready to know the kind of question people will ask and if these questions are really useful. At the moment, the kind of question people get on other wikis are about editing mostly, but sometimes you may have people who say hello because, well, they are polite or they try the tools to check if someone's going to reply. And we have a very few nonsense questions. We conducted 2 experiments at French and Bengali Wikipedia, but the quality of questions. And overall, every question is a question you can reply to. And it's overall something related to the wiki. So yeah, no worries about getting the question all the time. It doesn't happen at other wikis. So after this 1 month trial, and if everything is going well, then we will probably suggest to move on and increase the number of people who will get the tools, but it will be up to your community to decide. So if you want to be part of this test, or if you just want to support this test, please join the discussion so that more people, if we have more people supporting it, then we will have more success in the trial. Also, you can go there and ask your questions about the tools or about the test, and we will reply to any ideas, suggestions, questions you may have about English Wikipedia and growth features being together. We're also considering a lot of flexibility regarding this deployment, and we are open to any suggestion that will help the English community to adopt the features. So we have plenty of future work being considered, but we are still open to new suggestions, and we have already been working on some suggestions coming from the community in order to help experienced users being good mentors. At English Wikipedia, you already have a system about mentoring people, which is Adopt a User. And it's very possible to have 2 systems working together. So if you have the mentoring program being very active and people want to keep it very active, then you can separate the 2 systems. You can have at one side growth features used to welcome people, can be greeters. And these people would train new users to become, I would say, young editors. And then these young editors can be adopted by the mentoring program and becoming long-term editors. At the moment, the discussion hasn't been opened, but it's very possible to have it being started at English Wikipedia if you'd like to, if you are a member of Adopt a User. On most wikis, people are just focusing on welcoming newcomers, but we can write a new way to greet people at your wiki. So before moving to the future, the next features we plan to work on, maybe we should stop here and just discuss about getting these features being deployed at English Wikipedia. If you have any question about this specifically.
Actually, I have a comment, but maybe by the time I'm done, it might end up being a question or something. So what you're saying is these features are not available for English Wikipedia unless you are using the testing sites of Wikipedia to test the features for yourself.
Yes.
So in simple terms, what can the English Wikipedia community do? For those of us who are here, I mean, the names and the titles in there show that we are people who are really keen on recruiting, and we are in a hurry for these tools to be deployed, especially the homepage ones that allow people to go through the exercises step by step and even determine how hard or difficult it is. I mean, that tool sounds so cool. It sounds so helpful. How can we get such a tool which teaches people step by step without, facilitators having to come out of their rest or job or something just to come and take care of people that they recruited over a weekend on volunteer basis? So what can we do as the African community who care about the development of English Wikipedia, care about recruiting people? What can we do to make sure that these features, just like how it's been released for French, Arabic, and other languages, can be deployed for English Wikipedia?
So to make it short, join the discussion, show that you want to have these features being deployed and support the process. And then we will, yeah, we hope to this support to be a way to convince the rest of the community to consider having these tools being deployed. Regarding testing the features, they are not available yet at English Wikipedia, but they will be soon available at English Wikipedia. I was just checking the deployment process, and it should be a matter of hours before you get to try the tools as experienced users.
And to everybody in the chat, I mean, you are probably wondering, why should the foundation wait to deploy such features? Well, in our community, everything is discussed. Everything requires consultation. Everything requires engagement. The foundation doesn't just throw features at people. The community would have to ask and want, and to some extent allow. It happens a lot. And that's why we are having this conversation, so that those of us in the African community, we can be clear that we want these features on English Wikipedia and we are asking for them. So that is why you are probably, if you are wondering, why doesn't the foundation just go straight to the point and just deploy this and force it on everybody? No, it doesn't work like that in the movement. So that is, if you are wondering, that's the answer for you. So
yeah, we offer the features to community who wants to collaborate with us. So sometimes it takes more time than we expect, but because we let all discussions happening, and we reply to any questions communities may have about the features.
Yeah. And lastly, on that point, so the people who are interested in participating in the testing and whatnot, what can they do? That is key. So that from here, as an action point, we can help them find their way to your platforms to get involved in the testing. Yeah.
So we're going to use the project page you linked in the chat in order to inform the community about the next steps. But the two next steps will be the following. The first one will be to try the tools so that you can have your own opinion about how they work, and to see if they are good enough for English Wikipedia or for your project. And the second one would be to volunteer as a mentor. If you volunteer as a mentor, then if you need to be experienced enough, of course, but I guess you are pretty much all experienced enough. Yeah, you can see how the interaction between a newcomer and the wiki will happen. It's, like I said, it's rewarding because you understand how people struggle at editing the wikis, and it's also a good way to change things you may mention during your workshops, or things you've read over help pages because they are outdated, and so on. So yeah, I really encourage you to try the tools, and if possible, to join the mentoring system.
And all of that is accessible through the link I put in the chat. Like anybody who wants to be both mentor or a tester for the tools, all of that is available on the page that I shared.
Yeah, it will be soon available there because the deployment will happen very soon, and we are going to update the project page with instruction in order to well, try the tools and volunteering for mentoring if you can. So please add the page to your watch list and check for regular updates there.
Okay, so I'm dropping the page itself. Initially, I dropped the talk page. Now this is the page itself. Like Benoit said, you can add it to your watch list. I'm sure the experienced editors know how to do that, but for those who are new and are just wondering what that is, I think top right of Wikipedia pages, they have this star there, little star, I think light blue or something. Just tap it and it will now be on your watch list. And any updates that's brought to that page, you will be notified via email if you've provided your email for that purpose. So yeah. Log in first to be able to get access to that feature. So yes, Benoi, you can continue.
Yeah, so I'm currently sharing my screen with the project page, and to show it to everyone, you have the star here, top right, like Sandy said, you can click on it and then it will go to your watch list. And in your preferences, you can add your email so that you will have an email anytime this page is edited. So you will have in this page the explanation. Well, same thing I gave you during this tour, and we'll soon add the all the testing process you need to know about in order to try the tools. And if you are an experienced editor, you will also see how to become a mentor. So back to the presentation. I don't know if you see my screen. It's supposed to be written future features. Yes. Okay, cool. So I'm going to, well, let's imagine that English Wikipedia agrees and about getting the features, which would be awesome for newcomers. What are the next steps? So we have a plan. That's our current plan in order to move on. We want to help welcomers. We want to help mentors to be more efficient at their work. At the moment, we help newcomers being efficient at editing the wiki, but we want to help mentors to be efficient at helping these newcomers. We also want to offer more tasks to newcomers because, well, at the moment we only have 5 kind of tasks. Maybe we should add more. We also want to offer easier tasks to newcomers, because on some wikis, we have experienced users who do all the easy tasks, and then newcomers don't have a way to work on very easy tasks. It won't be the case at English Wikipedia, given the number of articles you have, but at smaller wikis, it could be an issue. We are currently working on reducing the number of configuration steps to get the tools, and we are also giving control to the communities about the configuration. Your community will be able to decide which links you want to display on the help panel, or how you want to have people interacting with their mentor. It's big. And we plan to deploy to more wikis, hence this discussion tonight. So the first element, like I said, that's a huge project. We will provide very soon, it's going to be deployed very soon, a way to edit the configuration of the growth tools at the local wiki. That's the first time something like this happens. Usually when you want to change something on the configuration of a tool, you need to ask developers to change it. But there, we are going to provide a special page to configure growth features at the local wiki. We are currently testing it on our pilot wikis, and it will soon be available at any wikis where the growth tools are deployed. We are also expanding the mentorship module. It's a very short-term project going to be deployed as well, I would say within a month. It's a mentor dashboard. So imagine you have your homepage as a newcomer, you will have a special homepage for mentors. The goal is to provide tools for mentors to check if their mentees are going well, and also to check if other mentors are active and if they need help and so on. It will be also a central place where you can, for instance, claim a mentee after a workshop, or set yourself as being away so that your mentees will know that they need to go elsewhere, or that other people will respond instead of yourself because you're away. So again, a big project. We have created it based on mentor feedback coming from different wikis, and we are still open to suggestion about it. We will add new kind of suggested edits. So this again will be soon tested on our pilot wikis to be available later at other wikis. And we want to reduce the number of steps people need in order to make an edit. So for instance, if you take the easy task to add links, you have to select your article, go to the page, click edit, add links manually, find the right ones, and then save, and so on. It's, for some people, it's still very complicated. So we have planned to reduce the number of steps, and we are going to suggest some links people should add. Then people just have to say yes or no, or I don't know about a given link. And then they just have to save the page and the job will be done. So from editing manually a page, you will be helped in order to add links to the page. We also plan to work on a similar thing about adding images for under illustrated articles. So yeah, that's a midterm project. We are currently working on it, and you will be, of course, informed about the outcomes when the time comes. And yeah, that's what I was saying. And that's all. So if you want to know more about the project, feel free to contact me. Here's my email. And of course, you can go to mediawiki.org, which is the central technical wiki we use. And you will see there all our project page. You just type growth and you will have access to the project page, talk page. And if you like, you can subscribe to our newsletter. So I will put my contact credits at my in the team chat, and well, let's go for a new round of questions. So do you have any questions?
If you have any questions, you can ask now. I think most of it came earlier, so that should be it. But if you have any more questions, and if you feel like you need further explanation as to whatever it is that you need, just to be able to do your part to get these features deployed on English Wikipedia, because it's available in other languages, to get ours deployed, that will be way cool. So yes, you are invited to give your opinions, questions, send messages to Benoit. If you would like to do it through Wikimedia Ghana user group, that's also okay. This session was recorded, so we have your emails for those who registered or RSVP'd. We will send links to everyone so that you can catch up and play back in case something didn't register for you. So that will be it. Benoit, if you don't have anything else, I would like to thank everybody for coming and thank all the community leaders who took time out to be here, and the newbies who are also curious and came as well. Would like to be, okay, there's a question. Elizabeth, yes. Please, I want to find out if the testing phase, if one wants to join, is it on individual basis or user group? Individual. Yes, individual, because I mean, I know a lot of you are not just tied to affiliates, but you also recruit people, you meet people, and you have projects you're working on. So everything here is individual. If you are not even affiliated to any affiliate, that's even cooler, because there are a lot of people in the movement who don't do that on their own and are still doing great work. So it's individual basis. You can feel free and join. Yeah.
Very quickly, you can test the tools as individuals, but regarding the support of the initiative, it could be done by a user group or a chapter. We already had the case, for instance, at Polish Wikipedia, where the chapter offered the tools to the community. It was a chapter initiative. So both can be possible, but regarding testing is only individuals.
Okay, but I think, Benoit, maybe the growth team can, you know how they did for the branding consultation, where people could gather as groups and come and say, we want this done, we want that done. Maybe, because I know the Wikimedia Ghana user group, we are so ready for a tool like this. I'm sure Nigeria would want to participate, but where can our voices be heard the loudest? That for me is it, because if we will come as individuals to, or even if as groups we are supporting, where are we registering our support? Where are we saying that we want this? Where's the public place that we can go and say we want these tools deployed, like tonight or something? Where? Yes, because so, I see the discussion page only.
Yes, so that at the moment it's the only place, but having some support from affiliates would be amazing, even there. And if when the deployment will happen, English Wikipedia will certainly have a global consultation, and there the weight of user groups will be crucial. So if you want to say that you support this initiative as a user group, you can already do it on the project page, and that will not be lost. I mean, you can easily pick the diff and say that, look, some user groups are already supporting this.
There's one more question, but I have a question. So let's say we create a section on the top page, right? And we say that, okay, a couple of us, we attended the event and all of us want to vote for these features to be released and we all sign. Is that also acceptable? Is that one way of advocacy? Yes. All right.
Yeah. It's a wiki. We can do it the way we want. And,
okay.
Yeah. So we have a question from Brian.
Yes, you can take that.
Would Mentor or Help page be able to refer mentees to their Wikimedia groups communities within their countries to be able to join their local family? So you mean that's something that's getting a mentor from where you live or from a project you are close to? If that's the question, it's not the case at the moment. It's not possible, but it's doable. I mean, if I get a user who is really into a specific topic, let's say that the user is really editing about Ghana, I know who are the other mentors, and I can tell another mentor from Ghana that I have a very active user coming from, apparently very enthusiastic about your country. Would you like to take this mentor? And then it's possible to pick the mentor, and then it won't be my mentor anymore, but it will be someone else who cares about Ghana will take care of this user.
Okay. I guess so that means that the referrals can be done, because if I'm a mentor and I have
manually,
that person, yes, I can just refer them to a user group or a chapter that, just recommend it. So yeah, if there are no more questions, it's been an hour. We will close the session now. But to everyone that came, I will create a section in the talk page for those of us who attended this event and those who know how to interact on talk pages. I'm sending an email around and you can add your voice and say, yes, we would want these features deployed, if that's okay. So which we will call it a day, a night, an afternoon, an evening, and thank everybody for coming. Thank you, Benoît.
You're welcome. Thank you for the invite. I was very happy to show you these features.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye.